Today, let's sew a little ghost keychain, perfect for fall. Well, welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today we are making this little ghost keychain in two sizes, and there's a full Etsy pattern available as well. So for this, when you go to the Etsy store, you will see that there's a pattern available. There'll be two different pattern pieces, one for the big ghost and one for the small ghost, and then there'll be a third pattern piece, which is this little loop that will help us to connect it to our keychain. Now you will need a key ring, some embroidery floss, and then some fabric. For the fabric, we really do not use that much at all. This is a great scrap buster. This fabric is around 8 by 12 inches, so this is going to be more than enough to make that big ghost, and you actually have extra fabric left over. So this is a really fun little scrap buster to put together. So let's go ahead and get started. So for your fabric to cut out our ghost, I'm going to be folding my fabric in half and then just pinning the ghost pattern piece on top. Now on your pattern piece, you will see that there are markings, so be sure to transfer over those markings as well. But I'm just going to be cutting this out so that I get two pieces of fabric that are in the shape of the ghost. Now there will be the three markings. Those two are going to help us to note where we are leaving a gap, and then the one at the top is just where the middle is exactly. Next, we're going to cut out that little loop. So this is just a rectangle and you only need one piece. So I'm just going to lay my fabric out in a single layer and then cut that out. So now we should have three pieces of our fabric. Then we are also going to need a couple pieces cut out from our interfacing. So using that same ghost pattern piece, cut out two pieces of lightweight to medium interfacing, and then I'm just going to attach this to my fabric. So the bumpy side will be facing the wrong side of my material, and then I'm just going to be following manufacturer's instructions to attach that on. I'm using fusible interfacing. Now for the loop, we're going to be folding this in half with right sides together, and then we're taking a seam along that long edge. For the seam, I'm doing around 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, maybe a little bit less, but this is going to allow us to have a nice tiny loop that we're able to turn. So to turn this right side out, because this is so small, there's a few tips and tricks you could do. First, there are actual turning tools that can help you. The second though, you could also use like a needle and thread and attach it to one edge and then push it all the way through. My favorite though is a safety pin. So I'm going to be taking my safety pin and attaching it to one edge of this tiny loop. So just going through one layer of that fabric and then closing my safety pin. And then I'm just going to be pushing the edge of that safety pin into the fabric itself. So you can see I'm turning it, pushing it in there so it's now inside the fabric. And then I'm just going to push the safety pin all the way through until it gets to the other end of my fabric. So here's what it looks like. And then I'm just going to go through the process of turning the fabric as I go. This can be a little challenging, but it will turn. And then here is what it now looks like. So my little loop is all turned right side out. And you can get different size safety pins to make this easier for either larger or smaller items. So now I'm going to add this to the top of my ghost. So right side of my ghost is facing up, and then I'm just going to fold that little loop over and then attach it to the top like that. So I'm going to put my other piece of the ghost with right sides together so it almost makes a little sandwich, and then I'm just going to go all the way around pinning these two layers all the way up, and then it has that loop already attached. Now when I get to the spots where I have my notches, I'm just going to be using double pins to denote that that's where I'm going to be starting and stopping. So now I can just take this over to my sewing machine and just begin actually sewing this up. So at that first double pin spot, that's where I'm starting, just going all the way around my ghost. Now as I go all the way around, this is a big piece of sewing on a curve. So I'm going to be taking my time. I'm also going to be really watching where those curves are. You want to make sure that when we're sewing them, we're getting them to look nice and pronounced curves. That's going to give your ghost the most shape. So I'm going to be going very slow. I'm going to pivot my fabric as needed, which is where I put the needle in, lift up the presser foot, and then continue on my way sewing. And I have a whole video on sewing on a curve if you want even more information, but really it's all just about taking your time and very carefully going through this. Now once you have it all nice and gone around and sewn, we are going to be clipping the curves. So this is where you're making little cuts as close to the seam as possible without going through it. So just making these little notches, and that will help our fabric lay a lot smoother when it comes time to turning our ghost right side out. And I do have more information about that in that video too. Once it is all nice and done though, you'll see that you have all these little notches, I'm going to go ahead and turn this right side out through that opening. So just very carefully pushing my fabric through. If you are a brand new beginner to sewing, I would highly recommend doing the larger ghost keychain. That smaller ghost keychain can be a little bit tougher just because things are smaller. Now, to make sure that all of our curves look nice and pronounced, especially on the bottom, you could use the end of a pencil or a paintbrush, like the pointy end. I like to use a pin to just kind of go through and pull everything out, but here is what my ghost now looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and actually press this so that it is nice and smooth, and then once it is pressed out, we can go through and top stitch this, and that will allow us to have that opening be closed too. So to top stitch, I'm going to increase my stitch length to about 3, and then just go through and basically do the exact same seam I did before. So just very carefully going around, sewing up our entire ghost. And be careful when you get down to the edge where the little ripples are. You want to be sure you are sewing along those curves, making sure everything looks nice and neat. Now, due to how our fabric is, you may notice, especially when you get down to those little ripples, it's very thick and your presser foot may have a hard time going over it. One recommendation I would have is to put something behind your presser foot, like a piece of cardboard if you have a small plastic ruler like I'm using, and this will just help your presser foot kind of get over that bump. So it will allow it to level out, and then you'll be able to sew very easily over it and get that perfect seam every time. If you've made my coaster pattern, I have that tip in there too. It's the exact same type of process and technique for us to be able to sew through. So our last piece of sewing now is just adding these little eyes. This is optional, so if you want to skip it, you definitely could. I'm going to be using a hand needle and some embroidery floss, and then just adding little eyes to the ghost. So for embroidery floss, when you take it out, you will see it looks like it's like 6 threads that come together. I'm only going to be using 3, so I'm going to separate these apart to only get 3 of those threads. And then I'm going to be taking my hand needle, just sewing it up. There's no knot at the end. And then I'm just going to very carefully sew a little line. So my line's probably around like 1/3 of an inch. Bring the thread all the way through until I just have a little bit left at the end. So you can see there's a tiny little bit down there. And I'm going to put my needle back through that same opening and just repeat that stitch about 6 more times. This is going to give you a really nice looking eye, and it will look perfect on your little ghost. Now, as I'm going through doing this, I am not sewing through all layers of the material. You could if you want, but I left the back unsewn. You will also see that I didn't knot anything. Because we went through this so many times, that stitch will actually hold really nicely. So now I repeat that for the second eye, and now it's just time for us to add our little key ring hoop. So for this, you're just going to kind of thread it on basically, so where that loop is, just going through and looping it at the top. And then once you have it there, your keychain is all complete. So now both sizes of the ghost are the exact same, whether you're making the small ghost or the large ghost. Then you can add this to whatever bag you would like. While I was adding this to the bag, the cat did come over to investigate. She fully approved of this new pattern. I also think these are just really fun to make for yourself or as little gifts. Bag charms are really popular right now, so I think that this one is a really quick and easy scrap buster. Remember, there's a full pattern available on Etsy, so you can get this ghost pattern as well as all the instructions I said written up. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching.